the champion. And Sheffield, about 30 minutes drive from Leeds. Oh, we've got a saxophonist here as well. Well, it's a Glenn Miller tune, but I think it's in the mood. Frank Grant bouncing around on his toes. MC Mike Shinfield about to make the announcement. Referee for this, Paul Thomas from Derby, a carpet dealer, in case you're interested. And I must say thank you to my friend Terry, who fixed my car and enabled me to make this journey to Leeds today.
Is a middleweight contest promoted by National Promotions and sponsored by the Daily Star of 12 3-minute rounds. A match made at 11 stone 6 pounds for the Middleweight Championship of Great Britain. Presenting and introducing in this corner, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger from Bradford, Frank Grant.
Well, Frank Grant very well supported here in the stand. But you can bet your bottom dollar that Herol Graham has got his supporters here too.
Sheffield, ladies and gentlemen, the Middleweight Champion of Great Britain, Herol Bomber Graham.
Here he is, Herol Graham. The most accomplished middleweight Britain has ever produced, not to have won a world championship.
Weighing today, Grant scale
33 years of age now, Bomber. Grant, 27.
Stones 5 3/4 pounds. The referee for this contest, Mr. Paul Thomas. The timekeeper, Mr. Colin Roberts.
So, Frank Grant then, trying to take this British middleweight championship away from the holder. He's had it a long time. Herol Graham, former European champion, former Commonwealth champion, both at light, middle and middleweight. And I don't know how he makes 11 stone 6. Frank Grant, trained by Phil Martin at Champs Camp in Manchester, jointly managed by National Promotions. And stablemate, of course, can clash for a title, but only a title. An all-southpaw match this, and one very interesting note, both champions and both challengers are from Yorkshire. Good right there from Grant, and he'll know his best chance is to try and catch Graham early. Remember, Julian Jackson did it in 3. Jackson was taken apart by Graham for the first 2 rounds, on the verge of defeat, then pulled out that incredible punch. And Graham will mess Frank Grant about. Frank does bang up around the eyes, though. Of course, Graham has cut. When he boxed Mike McCallum for the title, I thought Graham was unlucky not to have got the nod that night in Wembley, in the Albert Hall. Graham, of course, one of the smoothest movers, and Grant's just going to have to try and get on top of him like this. And I wish I'd bought my coat. It's cold here. Of course, these men are pumped up and ready for action. Frank Grant in the yellow trunks. Bomber Graham wearing those rather strange coloured trunks. Almost a camouflage. In fact, they are a camouflage colour. And possibly Graham out to out-terminate the Terminator. You'd expect Grant to be wearing those camouflage trunks, wouldn't you? Good right hook there from Graham. And this a big, big moment for Frank Grant. Long right hook again there from Frank. And I was chatting to Bomber earlier. I said, what's your game plan? He said, I'm just going to go out there and enjoy myself. He might just have to go through some uncomfortable moments on the way. Graham might just have to avoid some huge punches from Grant in the early rounds. Frank Grant had some useful sparring with W.O. Wilson. Tall southpaw, evasive like Herol Graham. Well, the end of the first, and really, those big punches of Frank Grant could just have taken it for him. Of course, Bomber nagged away and niggled with those smaller punches, but possibly referee Paul Thomas might just side with the challenger for that first round. But I must admit, as much as I expected to see Frank Grant make a good start. Grant has been a pro now since 1986, Graham since 1978. And Graham's first loss, in fact, came in 1987 in his 39th outing. He lost on points over 12 rounds to Sambu Kalabay in Wembley for the European Championship, and boxed really badly on that occasion.
Round 2.
His second loss was against Mike McCallum for the WBA title. And the only other loss on his record the last time out was against Sambu Kalabay, once again for the European Championship. But this, a British title defence, Herol Graham from Sheffield against Frank Grant from Bradford, an all Yorkshire British title match. Oh, what a stiff jab there from Grant. And he never had much of a jab in the early days, Frank Grant. Used to just power forward in the hope of getting that left working. Oh, and again, a right there, and Graham looks a bit disorganised here in round 2. Covers up as Grant unloads. Double right hook from Herol Graham. And of course, with a man like Herol Graham, who trades on his reflexes, there's always going to be a day when they'll let him down. And of course, he's hoping it won't be tonight. There's a little lump underneath Herol Graham's right eye. Frank Grant looks very determined. This is his big opportunity. Frank Grant has lost 3 fights also, but he's only had 20. of Grant's 17 wins have come inside the limit. 27 of Graham's 44 wins have come inside the limit. Sorry, Graham has lost 4 fights, in fact. I forgot to mention the Julian Jackson world title fight defeat. That's for the WBC Championship. This is round 2 of a scheduled 12. Herol Graham having to box very cautiously here against the eager challenger, Frank Grant. Phil Martin in the corner, imploring Frank Grant to get that right hook working. Well, Graham looks to have settled down now. Only because Grant is not getting forward like he did. Nice left there from Frank. Well, the end of round 2. Well, Frank Grant might just have edged round 2 as well as round 1. He had some very good moments in the first minute and a half or so before Graham got his boxing together. Of course, this match will be decided entirely by referee Paul Thomas. It's the 10-point must system in Britain. 9.5 points generally to the loser of the round. If there's a knockdown, some referees, of course, will mark it a full point.
10 seconds, corners.
Well, here's the opening salvo from Grant in that second round. Round 3 coming up.
Seconds out. Round 3.
So Frank Grant, the challenger, in the yellow. Herol Graham, desperate to keep this superb record of having never lost to a British fighter, and also to keep hold of that Lonsdale belt. Of course, he's already got one to keep permanently. He must win a Lonsdale belt and defend it twice successfully to keep it. And they've done their homework on Bomber Graham. Nice little jab there from Herol. And Frank, of course, can't hope to outbox the very silky smooth Herol Graham, so he's got to use his strength. Got to use his bigger punches. This is the Leeds United Football Club, Ellen Road. It's a cold night, but it's hot in that ring. The lights and the action, of course. But I'm sitting here shivering. Well, it's a far better round now for Herol Graham. He's found his feet, but a very good start from Frank Grant. I thought he's won the first 2. Nice right uppercut there from Graham. Oh, and a good left hand, followed by the right again from Herol Graham. Oh, good right hook from the champion. And this was the problem for Frank Grant. If Graham slipped into gear, which he has, and it's round 3. Well, Grant gets through with a couple of punches, ignores what Graham was doing, and Graham there slightly embarrassed by that. Once again, spears Grant to the face with that lovely right jab. And speaking to Frank Grant earlier, he was in a very single-minded mood. But a good round there for Herol Graham, the first I give him in 3. But that might just have set the pattern of the way this is going to go. There's Graham. Breathes deeply, gets the air into his lungs. And Graham has issued a challenge to the WBO champion, Chris Eubank. He'll move up to super middle for that, of course. Here's a bit of replay. Could this be those 2 good punches from Grant? There's one, and there's the other. Well, in fact, it was 3. And then Graham realised, grabbed hold. That's the best spell that Frank Grant had in the 3rd round. This is scheduled for 12. Herol Graham's British Middleweight Championship at stake. 1 round behind on Mike Hart with 3 gone. Grant needs to hustle and bustle, keep going forward. Trying to punch from every conceivable angle and match Graham. Well, that left just grazed the chin of Graham. No serious damage there. Nice shots. nice long right hook there from Frank Grant, follows with the left. And this is the best I've seen Frank box, considering the opponent he's up against. Of course, Graham does have his detractors. And this match should have taken place last year, but Frank Grant reportedly failed a brain scan, and it turned out that the reading, or at least the machinery, was wrong, and that robbed Grant of a chance to fight Graham before, and that's possibly done him a bit of a favour actually, but really psyched up for this tonight. One good shot on the chin from Frank Grant will give him all the confidence he needs. Good punches coming back now from Graham. Grant, though, still plugging away. Once again, that long right hook, and Graham calls him in, picks him off. And we've seen a spate of very interesting trade fights in the last couple of weeks. And this, tonight, adding to that. Good left to the ear from Grant. But you've really got to catch Graham on the chin. He does actually, contrary to popular belief, does take a good whack, Graham. Well, there's not too much in this fourth round. Well, that's the bell to end round 4, and I'm inclined to go evens on the round, which means that on my card, Frank Grant is still 1 round in front. Applying the ice pack to Frank Grant's face just to prevent any swellings coming up. So round 5 coming up then. Frank Grant,
Round 5.
in my opinion, 1 round ahead of the champion with 4 rounds gone. But Herol Graham starts to find his range with the right hand. But Frank Grant still going forward, making life difficult for Herol. And Phil Martin is famous for doing his homework. Nice punches there from Bomber. Nice stiff jab there from Grant. Oh, and again that right hook from Grant. He can't seem to miss with that. Oh, and again a big left there, and Graham is in trouble. He hangs on to Frank Grant desperately. Big left hand, Herol Graham. And he hasn't fully recovered yet, but don't forget, he's a very tricky mover. Frank Grant knows that punch hurts. Going for the follow-up here. Graham ducks and dives and slips. And Grant find it again. And that's the problem. When you catch Graham, he's even harder to hit with a follow-up punch. Good round this for Frank Grant. going forward. Grant spurning these punches from Graham. Grant still pushing them out, but Graham counters back. Oh, and again a good left there from Frank Grant. Graham took that one well, but stiff jab. And if Grant times that left-right, Graham could be an ex-champion. I said at the beginning, Grant was a pretty stiff left-hand puncher. And he never used to have a leading hand in the old days, but developed into a pretty decent two-fisted fighter these days. And you'd have said that Frank Grant was made for someone like Herol Graham, but Grant really in danger of upsetting the script here. I've got him ahead by a round after 4, and looks like he's going to take this 5th as well, rather comfortably. He's hurt the bomber. And the grin there on the face of Herol Graham, the champion, as the bell ends the 5th round. Good round for Frank Grant. 2 rounds up on my card now, Grant. Lovely punches. I hope we'll see that again in replay. And when you think of the experience that Herol Graham has had in his career, matched that against the experience of Grant. Here we go. Bang. Good shot. And Graham was forced to hang on like a leech. He caught him again. Not with the same kind of impact. There you are, glancing left there from Grant, but he's shown his intentions, Frank Grant.
Seconds out. Round 6.
Round 6 then of a scheduled 12-rounder. The British middleweight champion Herol Bomber Graham 2 rounds behind on my card against the challenger. A keen and determined Frank Grant from Bradford. This an all Yorkshire match. And you can see the steam coming off their bodies and out of their mouths when they breathe. This is a chilly night, but getting hotter and hotter as the rounds go by for Herol Graham, the champion. Well, once again, Grant storms forward. Good left hook there from Bomber Graham. Graham, born in Nottingham, boxing out of Sheffield. Grant there talking to Graham inside. Told to shut up by the referee. But this so far has been a good performance by Frank Grant. Round 6. And you don't see Graham extended by British middleweights. Remember that cracking fight he had with Mark Taylor? Graham had a good fight with John Ashton in the last defence of this British title. Ashton here in the crowd. Also fought Sambu Kalambe. Well, cheeky move there from Graham. Grant smiles at him. And once again, Graham spins his man. Referee Paul Thomas ticks him off. Ungentlemanly conduct, that is classed as. Don't do it again, he says. And there's not much in round 6.
Come on, Frank. That's it. Let him go.
Oh, Once again, that big right from Grant. What a different fighter he is now. He's learned to use both hands effectively. And this, of course, a match of tactics as well as anything. And Grant has his game plan, and he's going to stick a good left again there from Frank Grant. Once again, Graham forced to hang on. And the fellas come. Good round. And Graham limps back to his corner. And I don't think there was much in round 6 at all. I'm going to go evens on that, but I've still got Grant ahead.
Eurosport.
Round 7 in the halfway stage of this British Championship. Herol Graham, I've got 2 rounds adrift, 3 rounds to 1 and 2 even. And Grant has whacked him with some very hefty left hands, one just before the end of that 6th round. And Graham has been rocked quite badly. And again, Grant gets the big punches home. And there's nothing on Frank Grant's record to suggest he could pull this off. This is all in the mind, not on paper. And there's been nothing at all wrong with Graham's training. And this would be, I think, the upset of the decade if Grant were to win the British Middleweight Championship from the defending champion, Herol Graham. This would rank on a par with David beating Goliath. Well, Grant gets back with his own jab, but having to take these punches from Graham. He's a deceptively hard puncher, Graham. They don't look anything more than laconically thrown, but they are hurtful punches. And Herol Graham sails incredibly close to the wind on occasion. Oh, good left again there from Grant. Takes one back though from Graham. Good body shots from Graham. Sorry, from Grant. Needs to switch it upstairs. Good right to the chin. And Graham comes back. He has the ability to finish a fight with one flurry of punches. Good punches here from Graham now. Grant still sticks close. Still goes forward, looking for the big punches, but walks onto shot. Well, this one's swinging back and forth. And if Herol Graham has been having trouble making the weight, these body punches will take their toll. Good left again, and again there for Grant. That one hurts. Graham, rubbery legs. Grant plants another one on his chin. Well, Herol Graham has been on the verge of defeat here a couple of times, but managed to stay upright. And there's nothing wrong with the punching power of Herol Graham. He had Calibre on the floor, remember, a couple of times. And the bell ends the round, and once again, Frank Grant looks like he's done enough to win it. And this is one of those fights. Are you going to score? Pay more attention to these lighter flurries of punches from Graham, or the harder, more forceful work of Frank Grant? That is going to be the big decider here. Either way, I think 4 rounds to 1 and 2 even on my card in favour of the Bradford fighter, the challenger Frank Grant in the yellow trunks. Herol Graham wearing the multicoloured pants. Good right hook there from Graham. Double jab again, left hand from Grant. Oh, good left hook there from Herol Graham. Now he starts to turn on the punches. Grant forced to cover up. Comes back again. Good fight this. Well, it's a war now, toe-to-toe. And Graham is a heavy puncher, there's no doubt. Oh, a good right hook there from Graham. This is good stuff. Grant needs to grit his teeth and stay with him. Good to watch. Good right hook again there from Graham, just slotted it in above the glove of Grant. Grant stays on top. But Graham boxing well, backed in against the ropes. And again, Graham punishes Frank Grant. Well, he's going to win this round. Herol Graham, good left hand, right hook. And Grant needs a change of tactics, or he needs at least to really hurt Graham in this round. Still going though, Frank Grant. Grant once again tries to come back with the hard punches. So Graham realising now he's really got to get his act together. Might have taken Grant a bit too lightly. Good left again there from Frank. And again, and again. And now, and Graham takes these punches. Is he hurt or is he playing? Comes back again, Herol Graham. Fighting as if it's the last round. This is round 8 of a schedule 12. Good stuff. Well, another cracking round, but I think Graham has got it. Still got him 2 rounds adrift. 4 to go. And this a tremendous match as we watch the replay of round 8, round 9 coming up, and Graham did some very, very good work in the 8th round.
Seconds 8. Round 9.
4 to go then, round 9. And Graham needs a repeat of the 8th. Well, a lecture here from Paul Thomas, telling Graham not to hold and hit. Well, he went to shake hands then, but turned it into a punch, and Grant fell for it. Graham needs a big round here. I've got him 2 down. There's 4 left. Of course, my opinion doesn't count for anything. All down to referee Paul Thomas. And I'm surprised that Frank Grant decided to go in again and try and mix it. That's where he got caught. But of course, just hoping for that one big left hand on the whiskers. Well, Graham, they're looking a bit disorganised. Not so sure he was hurt. Now, good left right there from Graham. Sorry for Grant. And Graham is lurching all over the place. And Herol Graham's experience really coming to the fore here against this very, very strong, determined challenge from Frank Grant. Oh, and a big right hand, left hook right again, and these are good punches. Frank Grant has got Bomber Graham in trouble in this 9th round. Will he let it slip here? Good punches, Graham hits the floor. I can't believe it. Herol Graham on the floor.
6, 7, 8.
Up at 9, Herol Graham. Grant has got the finish in sight. Can he do it? This will be one almighty upset if he can. Graham's legs are still not right. He's tottering all over the place. Can Frank Grant find the punches? This a tremendous fight, going against the odds. No one expected this, least of all me. What a tremendous effort from Frank Grant. And Graham really does. Oh, and he's gone again. Frank Grant's got him again. Graham hangs on. Well, I'm shouting myself hoarse here. This is incredible. Oh, and again, Grant whacks him, and Graham is in further. It's all over! I don't believe it! Frank Grant is the new British middleweight champion. He stopped Herol Graham in 9 incredible rounds here in Leeds. What a turn-up for the books. Can you believe it? Frank Grant, the new British champion. The first time that Herol Graham has ever been beaten by a British fighter. What a tremendous performance by Frank Grant. Herol Graham can't believe it.
Please, after 2 minutes, 20 seconds of round 9, ladies and gentlemen, with Graham not in a position to continue, the referee has stopped the contest. The winner, ladies and gentlemen, and the new middleweight champion of Great Britain,
Frank Grant, the new champion, hugged there by his father. What a tremendous performance. I simply can't believe it. Frank the Terminator Grant has terminated the championship reign of Herol Bomber Graham. Being a British champion since 1981. Tremendous.
The steward of the British Boxing Board of Control, Judge Alan Simpson.
And Judge Alan Simpson will present the belt. And here we go, the finish. What a magnificent performance by Frank Grant. Unbelievable. And that's probably the biggest upset of this boxing decade. That rates on a par with David beating Goliath. Frank Grant is the champion. He won't believe this. He'll think he's in a dream. And again, as we watch the replays, well, that might just be the end of Herol Graham's career.
Tremendous loser, Herol Bomber Graham.
It was a great fight. Far, far better than anyone could have expected. We all thought that Graham would must be too masterful for Frank Grant, but the younger, stronger, more determined challenger came through to win the British Middleweight Championship. There's the Terminator on the shoulders of Phil Martin. Fantastic performance by the Bradford man. And still, Frank Grant celebrates here. And who can blame him? His fans in the stands, on their feet applauding. And this cold night in Leeds has been warmed up by the tremendous performance of the new British middleweight champion, Frank Grant. And I would love to speak to Paul Thomas after this and find out how he was scoring it up until that point. As I say, I had Grant ahead. 4 rounds to 2 and 2 even. But what a tremendous turnaround. Frank Grant was on the verge of being beaten himself. Rock Bomber Graham came back to wrench the British title belt away from the champion. And the scenes of jubilation at Ellen Road will continue long into the night. And that is the second British champion out of Champs Camp. They've got the Cruiserweight champion as well. And they could have the light heavyweight champion next week when Maurice Corr takes on Noel McGee on Eurosport live from Manchester.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new middleweight champion of Great Britain, Frank Grant.
So he's milking this for all it's worth. Tremendous performance by Frank Grant. And there's shock in the Herol Graham corner. And my reports are that everything was fine with Herol Graham. His training was okay. Not a thing was wrong, but suddenly he's an ex-champion. Fantastic performance. And he's been a distinguished champion, no doubt about it. And once again, Grant is up on the shoulders.